If someone was abused and or neglected during their early years, they can end up spending a lot of time and energy trying to have their experience validated by their parent or parents, and they can find that they are unable to make progress. But even though this is the case, they continue to behave in this way. And today I ended up writing an article titled, "Is someone engaging in repetition compulsion if they are looking for their parents to acknowledge that they were abusive?" After coming to see that their early years were anything but nurturing, someone could spend a fair amount of time trying to get through to their parent or parents. This could be something that hasn't been going on for very long. Then again, this could be something that has been taking place for a number of years. If this has been going on for quite some time, it will mean that they have spent a lot of their time and energy trying to make headway. However, regardless of how long this has been going on for, and consequently how much time and energy they have expended, they might not have been able to get very far. In fact, they might not have made any progress whatsoever. But while what they are doing won't be working, it doesn't mean that they will be able to stop behaving in this way. No matter how many setbacks they receive trying to have what they went through validated, they could continue. Being in a position where their parent, assuming it is one parent, is not able to acknowledge what they put them through, is going to be hard for them to handle. Before they speak to them, they could get their hopes up and believe that it will be different this time. Whilst they are speaking to them, they could feel ignored, rejected, and worthless. And after they have spoken to them, they could feel guilty, totally hopeless and helpless, and they could be filled with anger and rage. What this will show is that this parent has a lot of control over how they feel, and this is likely to impact other areas of their life. So after they have tried to get through to them, they could feel down for a little while after. Or it could be even worse, with them feeling deeply depressed, and they might even think about ending it all. Ultimately, they are not going to be in a good way as it is, and looking for their parent to truly be there for them is just going to make things worse. If a close friend or family member was to become aware of what is going on for them, they could say that they just need to move on. They could see how much harm it is causing them and no longer want to see them suffer. Now, they might be able to see this, but that doesn't mean that they will just be able to draw the line. Before long, they could end up doing the same thing all over again and experience the same outcome. If, at this point, they were able to step back from what is going on, they might wonder why they are behaving in this way. It will be crystal clear that this is not working and is causing them a lot of unnecessary harm. What would be rational would be for them to accept that this parent, due to their own wounds, simply couldn't provide them with what they needed all those years ago, and can't provide them with what they feel they need now. So, no matter how hard they try and how long this goes on, it is highly unlikely that this parent's behaviour will change. Taking this into account, they can either continue to suffer unnecessarily, or they can cut their ties and move on. Yet, although they will be able to see that this is so, another part of them won't be able to accept this. This part of them will feel compelled to receive their parents' validation, and it won't give up until it is received. After realizing this, they could wonder why this part of them is this way. When it comes to the part of them that doesn't want to let go and is like a dog with a bone, this part of them will be looking to fulfill the needs that were not met during their developmental years. This part of them will be frozen in time, and it won't be able to see that this stage is over. Another way of looking at this would be to say that their emotional self or child self has no sense of time, and this is why this part of them can't see that this stage is over and that these needs will never be met. The outcome of this is that it will give them the need to continually look for what wasn't provided all those years ago. Thanks to this, they will be the walking definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Yet, as painful as it will be for them to behave in this way, the alternative will be seen as being far worse. If they were to face up to the fact that this stage is over and these needs will never be met, they would end up coming into contact with how they felt when these needs were not met. At the time, the pain would have automatically been repressed by their brain to allow them to keep it together and survive. Facing this pain, working through it, and becoming a more integrated human being in the process will take courage, patience, and persistence. In the beginning, they might not be able to do this by themselves. By being supported by another, they will be able to go where they wouldn't go by themselves. Working through the layers and layers of pain inside them will allow them to gradually accept that these unmet developmental needs will never be met, and to no longer look towards their parent for what they simply can't give them. If you can relate to this and you can see that you have been trying to receive what wasn't provided during your early years from a parent who is totally unavailable, then please know that there is a way out, as I've said, through facing your pain and working through it. You will be able to gradually change your life. And as I also said in the beginning, you might need external support because facing this pain by yourself might be too overwhelming. So by having someone who can hold the space, you will be able to go where you wouldn't go by yourself. And then as time goes by, you will be able to hold the space for yourself and to work through this pain without needing external support. So the main thing is that you do what you need to do to gradually let go of your emotional wounds so that you can be free to live your life now and to truly put the past behind you. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.